I literally found this computer in the trash. My first thought when seeing it sitting there was, whoa, free computer parts? So, like any good dumpster diver, I took it. It looked like it was in almost perfect condition. Literally no dust, dirt on it at all. The back panel identified the machine as a Dell Inspiron 3647. It had stickers on it for Windows 8 and Intel i3, so that was definitely a promising sign. I thought to myself, can I make Bitcoin with this? When I plugged it in and turned it on, it started right up. Great. Within a few seconds, however, I could hear a scratching and clicking noise from inside the case. Booting into the BIOS confirmed that the computer could not recognize any hard drive. Checking around in the BIOS showed that this machine has an Intel i3 4150 processor. This processor is a 4th gen Intel i3, 2 cores and 4 threads, running at 3.5 gigahertz. Not ideal, but it's free. The machine has 4 gigs of 1600 megahertz DDR3 RAM, which is fairly common with a machine like this. So now that we know what this thing is, let's take it apart and see what we can do with it. Alright, now that it was all taken apart, I decided to try mining with the CPU for 24 hours to see how much Bitcoin it could make. Since the hard drive was dead and it had no OS, using what I would normally use, NiceHash Miner, wasn't going to be an option. Also, using NiceHash OS wasn't going to work since NiceHash OS doesn't support CPU mining. So I decided to use a service called MMPOS instead. MMPOS offers a bootable mining OS that will fit on a USB stick that will mine from a CPU. It's also free to use for a limited amount of machines. I flashed the OS onto a USB and I let the thing run for 24 hours straight. The results were slightly underwhelming. This machine made a grand total of 0.78 bits, or 78 sats. Assuming Bitcoin being at a price of 50,000 USD, that's just about 4 cents a day. Now, what are our options with this machine? Option 1, despite not being profitable and not really worth the electricity, just keep mining with it anyways. Maybe Bitcoin goes to $500,000 US, and then that 4 cents a day is now worth 40 cents a day. Option 2, add a low-power GPU to the machine to increase its mining potential. This machine comes with a meager 220 watt power supply. However, that is more than enough for some low-power GPU solutions. For instance, adding an NVIDIA GT 1030 to the machine will create an estimated profit of 1.91 bits, or 191 sats per 24 hours. That's about 10 cents a day. Or jamming an NVIDIA GTX 1050 into the machine nets a 24-hour profit of 5.73 bits, or 573 sats. That would equal roughly 29 cents a day. Now, I certainly would not recommend going out and purchasing any of these cards in order to mine with them, but if you happen to have an old card like this on hand, it may be something to think about. Option 3, sell the computer as is, or fix it up and sell it for more, then buy Bitcoin with the profits. A quick search on eBay reveals that this machine, in various configurations, is going for between roughly $50 to $100 US. You could try to sell it as is, or if you had additional parts on hand, such as another stick of RAM and a spare hard drive, you could spruce it up and possibly sell it for more. Assuming just on the lower end, you were able to sell the machine for a $50 profit. At 50,000 US per Bitcoin, that $50 buys you 1,000 bits, or 100,000 sats. It would literally take the machine years to ever mine that much Bitcoin entirely on its own. So I would say that's certainly a solid option. Now, as far as what I'm actually going to do with the machine, I'm going to keep it. I plan on adding some extra RAM and a pair of 2 TB hard drives to it and building a simple little file server to use at home. However, what I would like to know is, what would you do with this machine? Let me know down in the comments if you have any ideas for it, and thanks so much for watching.